No one has a Hollywood story quite like Lindsay Lohan. From clubbing with Britney to feuding with Paris, to even her current transformation, Lindsay Lohan's life was like an action-packed Y2K blockbuster that no one could look away from. But before she was downing shot after shot at the chateau, a young 11-year-old Lindsay Lohan would take the film industry head-on, becoming one of the most successful child actresses of all time. But at what cost? Lindsay Lohan would work her entire childhood away, all in hopes of becoming a huge movie star. One who was respected, loved, and most of all, who could pull her family out of financial hardships. Her immense work ethic and undeniable ability to bring a character to life would solidify Lindsay equally as pop culture icon and blockbuster movie actress. Hell, she was even a pop star. However, to reach this level of fame and fortune, Lindsay would be in for a long, unpredictable road ahead. Lindsay would go to jail, bring ankle monitors into fashion, and even be captured like Britney Spears.
It's Britney, bitch.
Lindsay Lohan is arguably the most famous, iconic, quote-unquote reformed train wreck Hollywood has ever seen. But her rise to American fame was no princess fairy tale. So let's all hop in the Secret Society time machine because I'm going back to the very beginning, before Mean Girls, Freaky Friday, Herbie Fully Loaded, and even Rumors. Because in episode 1 of this series, we're going back to summer camp. But before we get into this video, I have to show you something that's kind of wild. I found an app that literally pays you for stuff you already do on your phone. It's called Free Cash. Basically what it does is it helps you make a little extra money by doing super simple things, like playing mobile games or knocking out a survey while you're watching TV or waiting for food. Nothing complicated at all. What actually made me trust it was the Trustpilot rating. It's sitting at 4.7 stars, which is kind of insane for an earnings app, and honestly I believe it. The cash out limit is super low compared to every other platform I've tried. And I would know because when I first started my YouTube channel, I literally funded my first DSLR and my desk setup by completing game offers like this. But it took forever back then. This was like 2017, but Free Cash is instant. If you want to try it, click my link below. When you sign up and start your first offer, they'll give you a free $5 bonus automatically. Okay, so let me open up the app and show you. This is the homepage and everything is super simple. Your balance is up here, the offers are down here, and they have over 5,000 games and surveys you can choose from. I'm gonna grab a game offer just because that's been the easiest for me. And like, if you see, they're literally offering hundreds of dollars just for reaching a certain level. And once you install the game, it tracks your progress automatically. Just make sure you enable app tracking so the rewards actually show up. And this is the part that got me. When you come back into the app, no more wondering if the money's gonna eventually show up. You literally see your earnings pop in with this little animation and it's weirdly satisfying. Here's me doing the offer, nothing special, just playing a game the same way I would do on a flight or waiting for Uber Eats. That's when I hop into Free Cash. My progress updates right away. And like I said, because the minimum is only $20, you can cash out whenever you want. PayPal, Bitcoin, Amazon gift cards, whatever works for you. I tested it with a small amount just to make sure it was legit, and payout went through instantly. So be sure to click my link below and get your $5 bonus right now. Thank you so much to Free Cash for sponsoring this portion of the video, but let's get into the Lindsay Lohan story. To really understand how a multifaceted person like Lindsay Lohan can even exist at all, we have to first look at her family. Lindsay was born in 1986 to parents Dina and Michael Lohan. Dina was a 24-year-old actress and singer, and her 26-year-old husband Michael traded at the New York Stock Exchange. Lindsay grew up in the suburbs of New York, and due to her father's insider trading, money was often unstable. In her 2014 docuseries with Oprah, Lindsay revealed that fighting and substance abuse were an everyday part of her childhood. Her mom even said Lindsay was, quote, so messed up because she watched her father beat me. If you've seen any of my other videos about Lindsay, this comes as no surprise at all. Dina and Michael Lohan were absolute fame mongrels, holding on to any morsel of power or influence that ever passed by them. And then they would toxically feed into each other's delusions constantly. Thus, it was no surprise that by the time Lindsay turned the ripe age of 3 years old, her parents would shop her around to modeling agencies until she signed with 4 Ford models, as one of the youngest models they had ever signed. This was a huge deal, as Ford traditionally focused on print and runway models, not toddlers. But Lindsay stuck out even at only 3 years old. Not only was she photogenic and easy to direct, she wasn't shy in the slightest. Over the next decade, these skills would book a single-digit Lindsay Lohan in over 60 commercials, including Pizza Hut, Gap, and even a Jell-O commercial with Bill Cosby. During this period, her mother would fall deeper into substances, and her father would be arrested for insider trading. Lindsay's parents would separate for the first time when she was 3 years old, but they would consistently get back together. Throughout Lindsay's beginning, Michael proved to be a massive hindrance to her career. His physical violence fueled by alcohol and his persistent verbal abuse were his defense mechanism every time he would cheat on Dina. And because Lindsay and her mom were so close growing up, she often saw way more than a child ever should. And she witnessed Michael's bad behavior on the regular. But this didn't stop Lindsay at all. When Michael was in jail, her mother would keep her career pushing, acting as a career manager. Now, because Lindsay kept booking commercial after commercial, the booking agents started recognizing her face. They began recommending her for even bigger auditions and pushing her headshots to television casting directors. Thus, when a 10-year-old Lindsay auditioned for the NBC soap opera Another World, her natural look on camera, her insane memorization skills, and her professional attitude made her a shoo-in for the part. Back in the 90s, the primary requirement for child actors were kids who could memorize long scripts very quickly, and this was a young Lindsay's specialty. I think it's pretty safe to say that Lindsay was a creative genius even back then. Next time you're watching a movie with a child actor in it, compare it to Lindsay's performance in any of her movies. Her duality and ability to completely switch personalities at such a young age lets the viewer completely lose themselves in her characters. Her acting abilities completely superseded her ultra-recognizable look, causing Lindsay to never be typecast. And that's because she can truly pull off any role. The only reason she isn't in literal Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie at the same time are because of the pitfalls her career would face, and we're gonna get into all of that in this series. But I digress. For an entire year, Lindsay portrayed the role of Allie Fowler in Another World. She completely stole the show. Around the time her run on the show ended in 1997, word began spreading that the Disney Corporation was on an active hunt for a young, charismatic, undiscovered child actress to lead a big remake that was in development, and Lindsay matched the description perfectly. Lindsay Lohan was discovered by a Disney casting director named Eileen Starger. At the time, Eileen was conducting one of Disney's largest international talent searches to date, auditioning hundreds of girls from the US and UK to hopefully portray the young characters of Hallie and Annie, all for their latest movie, The Parent Trap. Eileen sent out a nationwide casting call for new unknown kids and a targeted industry casting notice that would be sent to agents for established young actors. Lindsay fit the latter description. Other notable actresses who were considered for the breakout role were Mara Wilson of Matilda fame, Scarlett Johansson from the Marvel Universe, and even Shel Trottenberg, who couldn't even audition for the role due to her stringent Nickelodeon contract at the time. Eileen Starger and director Nancy Meyers would attempt to audition real-life twins as well, eventually hoping to cut costs on the insane amount of special effects that would be needed for one actress to play both twin parts in 1998. All of these young actresses were in the running, but after Eileen brought Lindsay into audition, she blew every other young actress out of the water. It was a tough role. The young actresses would not only need an American and British accent, but they would need to possess the ability to play off of themselves. They needed a huge emotional range and impeccable comedic timing, not to mention stamina to keep all these skills firing off during their endless days filming. The way Lindsay was able to seamlessly play both parts so differently immediately made her the standout for the role. Her perfect accent and convincing acting abilities screamed instant classic, and Nancy knew right then and there while Lindsay was auditioning that she would be the one to bring both Hallie and Annie to life.
I was so nervous because there's like 50 million people there. And so I wake up in the morning and they call me, and then everyone's screaming at their house saying, I got the part. So I started jumping on the bed. My dad started crying. 2 seconds after that, I called my mom and they all started crying. So I found out in a really cool way.
Did you love the movie?
Yeah, I did. It was really cool to see myself up there. It was a little weird at first, but it's cool.
Now, you did have to audition in front of thousands of other in addition to thousands of other people. How come you think you got the part? I
don't know. Nancy said I just lit up the screen. I I don't know. I just
Well,
kind
that's a
of,
big one.
like, just acted naturally. My first movie. When I did commercials, I didn't know how hard it was, and now I realize what, if you want to be in a movie, how you have to be ready for it. You can't just go in and do it and get it over with and be out. You have to stay, and it's a process. I want to act and direct. It's fun, and I like the attention. I love to act, and from seeing Nancy direct, it's really fun. I mean, it's a hard job, and so is acting, but it's really fun. Not that I want to be like a boy or anything. I look up to Dennis, because he has a really good sense of humor.
Disney Studios would immediately cast Lindsay Lohan and dye her hair even brighter and glossier. They would hire a dialogue coach to help her truly learn her British accent. And the dialogue coach from the set of Parent Trap was quoted saying Lindsay was the fastest learner he'd ever worked with, child or adult.
Did you do accents when you auditioned?
Yeah, I had to do a little bit of the accent. I mean, now in the movie, it was much better than I did it there.
Well, answer the question as Annie. She's the English one, right? Explain to me how you learned to speak in a British accent.
Well, I had a dialect coach for part of it, but Annie's like very proper and stuff.
There would be a stand-in named Aaron Mackey for some of the twin scenes, and multiple crew members reportedly thought she was Lindsay's actual twin for the movie. This was Lindsay's first big blockbuster, and even though she was a professional, she was still an 11-year-old kid at the end of the day.
I connected with it because it's like me. When they're in the isolation cabin, they realize how everything comes together, and Annie says, "Don't you realize what's happening? I mean, we look so much alike," and then so everything starts to happen. They cut each other's hair, they pierce each other's ears, and then they start acting like the opposite person, and then they switch places.
All right, here we go. You grew, Liz.
I thought Camp Walden was really fun because there were a lot of girls there because I'm all around adults. It's a little confusing sometimes. I mean, once the whole thing, I have a photo double and chill, and I started saying all the other lines.
Lindsay looked terrified in the ear piercing scene because she had a genuine phobia of needles. In the scene where Annie and Hallie meet for the first time, everything had to be super exact because of the special effects used. And Lindsay would need to film both characters, often acting with a tennis ball with googly eyes on it. The technical aspects of the scene reportedly frustrated Lindsay to tears. This is the reason why she's so hyper emotional in the scene. It wasn't even written that way in the script, but Nancy told her to use her crying. And it produced one of the most emotional portrayals of a young actress in Hollywood history. Since then, Nancy Meyers, the director, has recognized how much work was truly piled onto an 11-year-old Lindsay, saying, "We were asking an 11-year-old to do the work of 2 adult actors. But how is this even possible with child labor laws?" Well, Lindsay would have to enter a contract with the state of California, which I'll get into in a little bit. But she definitely had limited hours like any other child. Whether the set actually followed those hours is up in the air. I'm guessing the laws weren't as regularly checked in on because back then she would only really have 5 hours maximum of work and filming a day. This includes any dialogue coaching or scenes she would have to shoot as both Annie and Hallie. Whether she was being overworked or not, Lindsay remained more professional than anyone else on that set. Dennis Quaid is quoted as saying, "She was 11 going on 30. I forgot I was acting with a child."
I have to do school. School is like every other second I have to go to school.
This is Adria, Lindsay's teacher. And this is a typical event. Lindsay being dragged off to school like this. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.
As opposed to good acting, do bigger.
He makes everything fun. Even if he's had the worst day of his life, for other actors, he'll make it fun.
What's so funny?
He's always happy. I mean, he just did like 5 scenes in a row going into water, and he's still happy.
When Parent Trap finally wrapped filming and premiered to Disney executives, multiple of them reportedly asked Nancy Meyers, "Which one is Lindsay? Who's that other girl?" This was the confirmation to Nancy that Lindsay had the star power to bring this film to the place it needed to be. Now, don't get me wrong. The actors and actresses in The Parent Trap gave some of the best performances of their careers, Lisa Ann Walter and Elaine Hendricks being complete standouts. But Lindsay Lohan is the one who made that movie a true instant classic.
Cool.
People will ask me all the time, oh, you know, what two girls are playing, and they forget that it's one girl doing a fabulous acting job as Miss Lindsay Lohan.
I love to act. I mean, when I grow up, I want to be like Jodie Foster and go to a good college and act and direct.
When it premiered in 1998 and grossed nearly $100 million, it was clear Lindsay Lohan was a star, and this was only the beginning. Unfortunately, every rose has its thorns, and as Lindsay started raking in millions of dollars, it shook the Lohan household.
She wanted to know what you get to do with all that money.
I can't touch it till I'm 18. Shucks. Things. I would be shopping right now.
Bummer.
I love Donna Karan.
You love Donna Karan. Well, that's the
Yeah.
other thing my niece wanted to know is, do you get to wear the clothes you want to wear, or do you have to wear what your mom tells you?
No, I wear what I want to wear, Mom. I hope
right.
she doesn't tell me that.
And she's a shopaholic, we heard. Listen, great luck with the movie. We love
Thank
having
you.
you on.
First order of business was Lindsay's minor entertainment contract with the state of California. See, due to the success of Parent Trap, Disney wanted to sign Lindsay to a 3-movie deal. However, because she was only 10 years old, anything she signed at the time could realistically be voided by law. If she entered this minor's entertainment contract, Lindsay would be able to sign her own multi-film contracts like an adult. She wouldn't need a parent on set. She'd basically be under the state of California and Disney's supervision. It's kind of similar to Emancipation, but her parents still retain parental rights. Anyway, with a Disney contract and California Minors Entertainment contract freshly inked, Lindsay was now the primary breadwinner for her entire family. To say this shook Dina and Michael's morals would be an understatement. The couple would begin constantly arguing over money. And take one look at either of them. Money had turned them both into unrecognizable monsters. Most of the time when a young star blows up like Lindsay, one of their parents need to take charge and manage the child's career, as they're the ones who are looking out for them and have their best interest at heart. But when it came to the Lohans, both of them were so disgustingly self-serving that she might have been better off with Robert Thorne or hell, even Larry Rudolph. Her parents couldn't decide on who was going to manage Lindsay. Her mom was taking charge, but her father didn't want to give up control. However, this too many cooks in the kitchen problem wouldn't plague them for long, as only 1 year after The Parent Trap was released, Lindsay's family would enter a parent trap of their own. Michael's legal troubles emerged in the public eye in 1999, and to say it was a PR nightmare would be a complete understatement. In the 90s, the conversation around child actors widely revolved around how strange their day-to-day lives were. The general public was fascinated with the concept of children who knew nothing other than cameras in their faces. It was super foreign and new back then. So a news article about the biggest new child actor's father being a white-collar criminal did not bode well for Lindsay, her father, or Disney's public image. It was all related to an old business dispute that was resurfacing, one that Michael was going to have to answer for in court. Meanwhile, while Michael is fighting his legal battle, Lindsay's career was still going full speed ahead. By the year 2000, Disney cast Lindsay in the hit Wonderful World of Disney TV movie Life Size with international supermodel Tyra Banks. It was the same casting story as The Parent Trap. Because Tyra was such a massive celebrity, they knew the movie would be a hit regardless. Thus, they needed to cast the absolute best child actor for the role, regardless of namesake. And Lindsay Lohan was perfect for the role of Casey. The movie would premiere to 13.5 million viewers and became the number 5 most watched ABC original TV movie of all time. This proved Lindsay could carry a movie regardless of a theatrical release. Thus, to finally finish out her 3-movie contract with Disney, they would utilize her for TV movie Get a Clue, alongside Y2K icon Brenda Song. But while this movie was in development, Lindsay would experience some of the toughest family drama of her entire life. In the year 2000, Lindsay's mother and father would separate, leaving Lindsay and her 3 siblings to be raised solely by her mother, Dina. By 2001, Michael would be jailed on charges stemming from a violation related to that insider trading case. Lindsay was only 15 years old, and the prospect of her father going to prison was terrifying, but unfortunately all too familiar. Only this time, it was in front of the entire world. Her career was only getting started, and Michael was putting her perfect, pristine image in jeopardy before her star even had a chance to take off. This was the start of early 2000s Lindsay beginning to take form. When she was living with only Dina, Lindsay had a lot more freedom. While her mother may have been able to tell her what to do when she was on set, when she wasn't working, no one could tell Lindsay anything.
You're only 17.
Yeah.
Are you driving yet?
Yes.
Can you drive?
Yes.
How long have you been driving?
I've been driving like 4 years, kind of illegally.
Kind of
but,
illegally?
you know.
Well,
In 2002, her father was released from jail and arrested for violating his probation. Lindsay's mother would make inconsistent attempts to give Lindsay rules and structure, but to no avail. Lindsay would eventually move out on her own with Raven Simone, and then Lindsay was really a lone wolf.
Still live there with your parents?
I just bought a place out here with my friend Raven.
Oh,
So I'm back and forth.
Raven Simone, huh? How are you guys gonna compromise on decorating the home?
We kind of have the same ideas, and I mean, our rooms are completely different. Like, literally, you walk into mine, and it's all pink.
Okay.
I have, like, pink satin sheets, and, like, hers is darker and stuff. But that's what's cool about it. We're not, like, going at each other with the same things.
Aside from entertaining me in your room and in your house, what gentleman will be at the new pad with you and Raven Simone?
No one.
I'm just talking about, like parties,
No, I don't
get
have a
together.
boyfriend.
She's single, but looking.
But I'm illegal for people that are old.
Well, some men like them young. We ain't gonna mention no names, but, I'm one of them.
You used to live with Lindsay Lohan a long, long, long time ago.
Straighten out, Katie. Katie! Listen here, Katie. She lived, we had at least for 14 months, she showed up 3 times. That was it.
Are you guys still friends at all?
We were different people then and we're different people now. I love her work and I wish her the best and I wish her happiness. But, it's no bad blood or anything.
You're moving out of the house soon and you're moving in with Raven.
Yeah.
And
I actually saw her when she was on the show.
Yeah, Raven Simone. So you guys are really gonna be roommates.
Yeah.
That's a sitcom right there. 2 young, pretty
It's
Hollywood
very
actresses,
scary.
and you guys moving in together.
We're having so much fun. We're decorating the apartment, and it's a blast. She's such a good person, and we have so much fun together, so.
So who's the partier? Are you the partier, or is she the partier and you're the homebody? Or vice versa?
I think Raven likes to, just sit home and chill sometimes. I always have people over. So, I don't know. We both, it works itself out. We both like to have fun, so it'll work out. Our parents are scared, but they trust us.
Well, yeah.
The only place Dina kind of succeeded was as her manager. But even then, the corruption and twisted family dynamic ran really deep. Dina was more of a twisted, messed up friend to Lindsay than a mother. By 2002, Michael was finishing out his prison sentence and Lindsay was releasing Get a Clue on the Disney Channel. She would head into production for her magnum opus, Freaky Friday, her first Disney movie outside of her 3-movie contract. Lindsay was a 16-year-old bona fide celebrity. And with that came a ton of drama. There would be multiple reported domestic disputes at the Lohan household, and Lindsay and her siblings were often subject to watching it. It's so sad to know that this bright star who kept us all endlessly entertained had to go home after playing our favorite characters and enter one of the most depressing and toxic home environments I've ever witnessed in a deep dive. This was the beginning of Michael Lohan going rogue. He would sell out his daughter and his ex-wife for a few cheap tabloid stories, revealing their true financial situation and his personal problems with Dina. 2003 was the year Lindsay's career was taken to new heights.
I just wrapped on 2 movies. One's Disney, one's Paramount. Tina Fey wrote one called Mean Girls.
Okay.
It's a little older. There's other stuff in it. It's just kind of me maturing in films and everything like that. But they're both coming out around April. I'm very excited about that.
Okay.
Because Freaky Friday was so highly anticipated, Lindsay would be overtaken by the press tour. This is the year she would soft launch her relationship with Aaron Carter and hard launch her massive feud with teen pop star Hilary Duff. This largely had to do with the fact that she was passing up Hilary in every way. She was Disney's first massive star since Lizzie McGuire, and Hilary and her mother obviously hated this. I've actually done 2 videos about Lindsay's biggest feuds of her career, and they're both extremely detailed.
I've suggested since you're so aggressive and so is Hilary Duff that y'all might just end up having a mud wrestling battle.
Oh my goodness, why do you say that? No.
Well, y'all are both on a collision course, y'all both stars and getting all these movies and singing.
Yeah, she's doing her own thing. She's doing the teen or younger thing.
That's true.
I'm going for the family movies.
That's right.
So if you want to know about her interpersonal conflicts with Hilary, Paris, and Brittany, and literally anyone she's ever fought with ever, I'll link both of those videos below. 2003 would be the year Lindsay's father would be arrested again, this time for getting in a violent fight with Dina's brother, where Michael allegedly broke his nose. He was charged with assault, harassment, and violating a protection order. This was around the same time news of Lindsay's parents splitting hit newsstands for the first time. Now, Lindsay didn't only have have publicly abusive parents. They were now publicly separated. Everyone immediately began casting that girl from a broken home label on Lindsay, and she reportedly began acting out in secret. This was a media nightmare for Lindsay, who had just started the filming of the Disney Channel original movie, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. As Lindsay was gearing up for the new DCOM and Mean Girls, it seemed like she was manifesting her future. As 2003 came to a close, Lindsay's life was looking less and less normal. Paparazzi began following her everywhere she went, all because of the tabloid fodder around her parents. She was shooting a massive movie with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. She was fighting with the Disney stars she watched growing up, all over teen heartthrobs she had only dreamed of. And on top of all of that, whispers began to spread that Lindsay entered the party scene and was getting dramatically skinnier. Lindsay was gearing up for the period of her life that would define her next 2 decades. If her Freaky Friday era was classic, then her Mean Girls pop star era was going to be one for the history books.
Danger, danger, can't take from a stranger.
And I'll be diving into 2004 through 2014 in the next part of this series, all titled Rumors. It's a decade of Lindsay's life you don't want to miss. So be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want more like it. Like I said, be sure to check out my other videos about Lindsay because there's a ton already, and there's even more to come. I will link all of those below, and be sure to comment anything new you learned today in this video. I love seeing new stuff I was able to dig up, and I'm going right into researching the next video. And thank you so much to Free Cash for sponsoring this video. I've already made $10 while I recorded this, so let's check back in a couple days and see how much we're all earning, and who knows, maybe dinner will be on me. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all later. Bye.
Recently, an alleged list of your alleged former conquests was leaked or published, okay? How accurate was the list?
You know what? I'm gonna get serious for a second. I have to do this quickly because I know that we don't have much time.
A few of the names on the list were like Ashton Kutcher, Orlando Bloom, Zac Efron, James Franco, Justin Timberlake.
They got Joaquin Phoenix, Jamie Dornan, Heath Ledger, Aaron Head, Colin Farrell, Adam Levine. Lindsay Lohan is a freak.